in your opinion, how would you like to see as a player a game about Christianity or that portrays Catholicism or the history of Catholicism or some the lives of what saints in what way, or how do you portray the Gospels? I don't know, too many questions, but yeah, whichever one you feel like
Yeah.
tackling. But yeah,
No, and I think those are all good questions and good insights to focus on. Another game that comes to mind actually is a series called Synaxarion. It's actually an Orthodox series. The first one is all about Acts of the Apostles, so it goes from uh, Christ being buried in the tomb up to Pentecost.
okay,
But and it's not really a game per se. Like it's loosely a game, but it's more like a meditation. But it's a well packaged one and a well presented one. And they have now a couple of different ones about different early saints. So I think there's something like that. And parallel I would draw is I'd like to see something like The Chosen, but in video game form.
Okay. I love The Chosen.
The Chosen. Yeah, and it's got its flaws, and maybe I might have some disagreements with the Christology they're presenting, given their theological background, but that's fine, that we're allowed to have those differences. But it's a well-packaged product that's telling a known story that we all read and know, but they're fleshing out these characters in good ways. I think that could be a good video game, and the question I always come to in video games in particular is you need a problem for players to overcome.
Right.
And I think our de facto solution to that for most of video game history has been combat. So some of the Christian games, based on like Noah's Ark, it's like, okay, well, here's a slingshot that fires feed at them so they go to sleep, and it's like this is a literal reskin of Wolfenstein. This is like you're choosing a path of combat to create action, and you don't need to. Spiritfarer is a great example where it's like there's no combat. There's tons of cozy games that don't have combat.
Right.
Animal Crossing is another great example. You don't need combat. There are times and places where combat can make sense and can be added and be done well, and in a way that's engaging and fun. But we don't need to default to that, and B, it's like basically we're just asking the question. We're telling stories. How do we tell them? How do we let those grow?